Hello, welcome to This Won't Last Long, the weekly podcast where I talk about my personal life a bit, my creative life a bit, and some new media that's out there. And today the new media that's out there that I watched was Thor Love and Thunder. I watched it last weekend I think. We'll be talking about that for the main event, but first I want to give you a little channel update. So recently the last thing I did was work on some video essays. I did 4 in a matter of like a week at the most, I think. There was an after hours one, and then there is a Black Panther one, and then there is a Interstellar one, and then there is a Spider-Man No Way Home one. So I worked on those 4. And that's it for my video essay ideas for right now. I'm probably going to take a little break to work on other things, like other ideas. But yeah, there's one every Saturday for the next 4 weeks at 1 p.m. on my channel. The first one tomorrow it's in order of what I just said. So the first one is After Hours tomorrow at 1, and then Black Panther next Saturday at 1, and then so on and so forth. So yeah, it was really fun to do with it. I mean, of course there was annoying moments, but I think I came out with some pretty good stuff. So a couple of them are shorter video essays, like 5-6 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever. I was searching up like if 5-6 minute video essays even like exist. And then they do it, and I'm like, okay, that's all I need to know. So found that out pretty quick, so I was glad about that. But yeah, and other than that, it was kind of unfortunate with my camera. Like with my SD card, I formatted the card again. If you listen to the first episode for Spotify, but if you listen to the last episode for Twitch, I formatted the card then for Umbrella Academy reaction, and had to not do that idea anymore. But for this, I accidentally deleted the first clips for the Choose Your Own Adventure video series I'm working on. But then I'm really glad I did this. I saw that these clips were actually on my drive, and I'm like, oh, thank God. So I just downloaded them, and problem solved. I just have to make the whole, like part of that video again, but no, it's kind of annoying, but whatever. But yeah, at least I got through the video essays, that's good. And then that was pretty much it, honestly, because that was for the first, that was for like a week working on the video essays, and then I think the last video I uploaded before that was the new Just a Thought about my collections, and then, yeah, I have some new ideas. My chicken mask from eBay came. Me and my family were making fun of that. I ordered a webcam today because I got another paycheck. So that is very, very good, because that means I get to actually, have a fucking face on my streams. So that'll be good. I think I ordered some stuff for some videos. I ordered Journal 3 from Gravity Falls to make kind of another Just a Thought. And then I ordered some lights, so with my webcam I can have like a cool setup with some LEDs. So that'll be cool. Hopefully you guys check out that next time I'm live, because I'll have a webcam tomorrow, I think. So that'll be great. I think that's all I ordered from Amazon. I mean, other than that, I pretty much didn't really work on anything, to be honest. I had some more ideas that I jotted down. The Choose Your Own Adventure thing, I still need to do that. And then and I had an idea for a new Just a Thought video, which is like, you know how GQ does those things, those interviews with celebrities, like My Essentials or whatnot. Like celebrity talks about what's essential in their life, like phone, like this type of food, this type of item, whatever. Like recently I was watching a bunch of behind the scenes kind of press videos for Umbrella Academy, just because I'm still on that Umbrella Academy kick after the season ended. I saw that Justin H. Min, who plays Ben Hargreaves on the show, did one, I think, for season 2, like a year or two ago, and like one of his things was like a silver straw, because like he's passionate about the environment, which is really cool. So I don't have a metal straw yet. Maybe I'll get one. Maybe I'll invest in that. But anyway, that'll probably be the next. No, I don't think so. I think the next thing I'll be doing is the kind of inspired by Jacksepticeye's videos on this, like reacting to old, TikToks that I liked or like found funny or whatever. I have a card reader now. I mean, I already did, but the other night it broke because it fell. I had my laptop. I like had my laptop somewhere on like a flat surface, and I went to grab something else from the room, and then I don't know, something must have happened, or like some weird thing with my turn or something, because the laptop fell. The laptop's fine, thank God, but the card reader that I borrowed from my neighbors fell and broke into, the inside of it broke into, obviously the outside. Yeah, the outside is fine, but the inside is very much not. Yeah, luckily he was fine with it, because it's just, he was saying it's like bad design with it and stuff. But yeah, I'll be, knowing that, I'll be very careful with the one I ordered from Amazon. It's pretty much set for the channel, I think. I think all the other ideas are just pretty much ongoing, other than additions to series, and then just the Twitch is all set up with the webcam and things. I mean, I got a Logitech one, and then just obviously, yeah, the Choose Your Own Adventure series that I'm working on. But other than that, I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm still on that way to affiliate with Twitch and partner with YouTube. But honestly, yeah, I think I've said this before, that it's just for fun, and people view it, people like it. That's just, people comment, subscribe, whatever. That's just a bonus. Or follow, whatever, that's just a bonus. I'm really glad I don't have school during this time, because it would kick my ass if I couldn't, do what I want to do. And probably still with the final year in high school, which I am terrified for. Segue into personal life, and not really creative life, because I mean, I just kind of did that as well. But yeah, personal life, segueing into that, because channel update is done and creative life is done. Yeah, I'm so terrified. Hopefully it won't be too scary. Hopefully I find my, people and things like that. Other than that, I'm still working as a dishwasher. The head chef, he like is on my ass for like a couple times, maybe like occasionally. With how I like wash the dishes, because even though I started at on Mother's Day with this job, it was like once a week for the longest time. So even though, yes, technically I started that day, it hasn't been that long, right? I mean, I'm probably, I would say, just under 20 shifts, maybe. I'd have to do the math. Too lazy right now, but it definitely hasn't been too long for me to be like a fucking master at dishwashing the way this middle-aged chef is. Like I'm not some experienced kitchen guy. And this is my, I don't know, it's just kind of annoying. But better hours now. I have 3 shifts instead of 2. That's the most I asked for. 3. Yeah, 3. I don't think I asked for 4. I kind of hope I didn't. I had like one of the worst days the other day at the job, though. The actual work was fine, but before and after sucked. It was the day that my card reader broke. Later that night after I got home. not right when I got home, but it was like later kind of when I got home. And then so that sucked, and that was after. But before I got to work, on the way to work, because I walk there, it's like a 10 to 15 minute walk there. I I got stung by a bee on the way to work. And listen, man, like, I know I'm 16. I know it's a little sting. It won't kill me, but just I've only been stung once before, and it was on my lip, and that sucked. So I really don't like bee stings from that one experience that I have with it. So this one sucked more because it was the one thing I needed while working to function well, which was, it was right above my foot, just kind of right above where the sock ends, like on my calf, on the bottom of my calf. And at first I thought it was just like, oh, what the fuck was that? And I was like, that must have been like some sharp thing stabbing me or something. I'm sure I'm fine. I look down and there's some fucking bee like dangling off my foot, and I'm like, what the hell? And I tried swatting it away, and then there was no stinger there, thank God. Because I've never had to pull one out before. Yeah, hurt like a bitch. I literally said out loud, shit! And then, just like that, obviously louder. But I was taking a shortcut to walk faster, and then, like, before I got stung, and then some lady who was living there, like, in the area, because the shortcut I'm talking about is like where a bunch of like houses and stuff are. And she's like, are you okay? You know, and they're like kind of like concerned, like, what the hell just happened, voice. Like, are you okay? And then I'm like, it would have been like more stereotypical if she said, are you okay, honey, or baby, or like whatever. But yeah. And then I'm like out of, like, trying to keep my composure because it was still hurting like a bitch because it like literally just happened. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. She was like, okay. And she walked in her backyard, through her backyard, and then just kept looking at me until she fucking exited, entered her backyard. Yeah, I think I was at work still, so yeah, good rest of the shift. But then after, so since it was kind of intense storms where I live, when I was leaving, and then my mom, who was willing to pick me up or walk with me, whatnot, because of the storms, said the storm was passing, so like, you're good to walk. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then as soon as she fucking said that, and as soon as I left, lightning started like happening again, and then I'm like, what the hell? And then I kind of just sprinted home away from the lightning. Almost died. But yeah. Other than that, money wise, I don't think I need anything more for the channel for anything really. I'll try not to, for once in my fucking life, I'll try not to, buy like, food and stuff like that too often now. Yeah, life is decent. Oh yeah, and then just a quick tangent that, one of my supervisors, Justin, was saying a funny thing. It's really stupid. I saw a green bucket, because we have to put away buckets, right? And as part of dishes and stuff, and then I was like, this bucket looks different. Does it have any specific place to to go. And then he was he's saying that's racist against buckets. And then I laughed because he left because he had to do something. He had to cook something or whatever. Yeah, that was fucking funny. And then when he left before me and the rest of the guys in Dish, he was telling me, or I decided it would be funny to tell him as he was leaving. And they're like a really serious tone, like, don't worry, Justin, I won't be racist against buckets anymore. Into the meat and potatoes now of the podcast, talking about Thor Love and Thunder from start to finish. Spoilers for Thor Love and Thunder, obviously. It kind of shows his kind of origin to why he hates the gods, and I was watching, I know all my, just a disclaimer, like, I know all my comics and stuff like that, kind of knowledge from, like books, or sorry, not books, like videos and stuff, like channels like New Rockstars, things like that. Channels like that. So, people who are much older than me on YouTube who actually know comics on their own. So basically, with that comic knowledge, I know that the origin in the comics is that his, family died from starvation or like something on the planet that they were on, and he tried praying for them to survive, and then they didn't answer, and then they died from exhaustion and whatnot. And then and that's all I know from the comics, and it was really the same in the movie. Obviously they look way different because they don't have the horns and whatever. I don't know how to. I think I heard someone say this in a video as well. Like, Christian Bale has this just insane ability to deliver a amazing performance through very little words and actions. But yeah, I mean, and then a thing I don't know from the comics is, who's the first god he kills with Love and Thunder. That is answered very quick. He kills the sun god, I think. I'm not going to be great with the names of gods here, other than the very obvious ones, like Zeus and whatever, which we'll get to soon enough. But he kills the sun god, and the CGI with the sun god was a little iffy, it's a little bad, a little not good, but it was a cool kill, and they can actually kill because apparently God's gold is blood. God's blood is gold, my bad. Switch the words around there, but yeah, very good stuff there. It was very beautiful cinematography with the desert and everything. Even though the only time I've seen it is in the theater, and I had like the Marvel theater experience, and being all excited and stuff. I just, I enjoy Marvel so goddamn much that it's just like, yes, if I don't have like some rose tinted glasses. If I see a bad movie, I see a bad movie. Like, the last bad movie associated with Marvel, or directly Marvel, was like Let There Be Carnage. That was a very, very bad movie. Yes, it makes fun of itself, and that's funny as shit. Anyway, I'm going off tangent with that, but I guess I just enjoy Marvel so much that it's just like I can't see flaws really, And like I said, like, if I do, I do. Like with Venom, but or like Thor: Dark World, or like whatever. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, have you ever enjoyed something? Have you all ever enjoyed something that you just like? It can never let you down. And I think I tend to look at the situations in the movie from a kind of perspective like of the characters themselves. Kind of like, oh, how would they be feeling right now, and like kind of like that. There was a beautiful, or no, sorry, that it was before this. The rock ballad Marvel intro, which was just, I mean, come on, that was fucking amazing. The way they did that, I'm glad they did it now, because if they had that, like, the entire time with Marvel, I feel like it would have been not bad per se, but because it's not bad at all, not in the slightest, but it wouldn't have, had that audience surprise. It wouldn't have caught us by like, oh shit, that's really fucking cool, and like they wouldn't have had that with it if they didn't do it with like Thor Love and Thunder or like some random. And I don't think it would have worked in any other Marvel movie, to be honest, because they marketed this movie with "Sweet Child of Mine," which we'll get into the meaning of that song with this movie very soon, but soon enough. But it was very, very, very special in the fact that you expected more rock to be in the soundtrack, and it was awesome. And yeah, I think I heard, like, because we have a small local theater, and I like, which makes for a better theater experience, because you can actually hear people like talking about the movie when there's a chance to, mind you, or like when there's a cool scene, you can actually hear people like gasp. And if there's like a really obvious cool scene like Toby and Andrew, obviously you hear the screams. But that's with any theater. Back to after the gore thing, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy. Get kind of a montage of like what he's been up to, and what's Thor been up to for the past whatever months, whatever. Because he's probably gonna still be with them or come back with them in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. At least I would hope so. If not, whatever, because the Guardians are good enough that they can hold their own story. God, the Guardians are so amazing. But anyway, I mean, what else can I say except it was very, very fun and funny. There's really not much else to say about the montage and what Thor's been up to and everything. It's very enjoyable. But yeah, then the story thickens with a bunch of distress calls to the Guardians' ship with a bunch of gods that Gore has killed. And everyone calls him the Butcher, which is very, very cool and menacing. Yeah, and then we see Thor get distracted by a distress call of Sif, we haven't seen since Loki, but who we haven't actually seen since Thor the Dark World. So we haven't seen her in a long, long time. And she was in this cool Viking getup, and it was a really cool. I mean, not cool, but like it was really gripping. Like cool in the sense that it was very gripping how we thought she was gonna die, because we really thought she was gonna die there. Her arm was fucking cut off. Like she could have bled out easily, but then Thor of course took her back to New Asgard and fixed her up and everything. But that was the first scary moment of the film, and it delivered. And then, after going back to New Asgard, we see Gore. We see Gore at first attack. After, of course, we have some moments, like character moments, like with Valkyrie and stuff like that. But, oh wait, no, sorry. It's we get introduced to Jane again with the cancer, and then Darcy makes a cameo, which was very fun to see, and we haven't seen since WandaVision. Yeah, man, it was also a fun cameo with Eric Selvig, with like a FaceTime thing with Jane, or like a voicemail or whatever that was, but video message, whatever. And after those scenes with Jane, to be honest, I didn't expect them to actually go the cancer route. I found it very obvious though when I was seeing an interview with Natalie Portman before I saw the movie, just to get excited and stuff. I was already excited, but after the stuff with Jane, in the interview with Natalie Portman that I watched, she was saying that, without spoilers, obviously, that Jane goes through a physical transformation throughout the film. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's obvious. But like, again, I didn't actually expect them to go that route. And then when they showed the scan in the hospital, I'm like, oh, damn, they're actually doing this. After that, Gore attacks and Sif gets fixed up and everything on New Asgard. And then fucking Jane comes, and it is so awesome. And before that, obviously, the hammer calls to her, and apparently there is a deleted scene they didn't use, or a cutscene, whatever you call it, whatever you want to call it, that showed Jane with like the outcome of that scene when she first heard Mjolnir call out to her on New Asgard. There was like a suit up scene, but then like I guess that would have like detracted from the actual like arrival scene, but also it's like you could have just cut the scene at the moment when when the lightning comes, and then you could have saved the actual suit for when she comes, right? Like they could have easily done that, but whatever. I'm just happy with what we got. Honestly, I mean, it doesn't even come close to the Infinity War scene, but it is still fucking awesome. And it was awesome. And then after that, of course, they reunite and stuff like that. And then she has the confident facade, which I didn't mind because that's very realistic for somebody who's dealing with that, to have, and like not show weakness. With Jane still, it was a very powerful scene when she destroyed the sink, and she showed weakness, but at the same time strength. Because showing your emotions, you're never weak. And I felt that was one of the central themes in this movie, now that I'm thinking about it. Which was, like I said, very powerful. With Jane's quips, it's very, like I said, with confident facade, it's very obvious that she's in pain, and like I said, it's like the message of it's okay to not be okay is a very powerful message in this movie. And we'll get to more of the messages in this movie soon, but yeah, man, it was very powerful stuff. And then next up was their plan, and I didn't really like, another thing about it, I didn't really like how Heimdall's son was just kind of born off screen. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that would have been a cool story. I don't know where they would have placed it, but it still would have been a cool story nonetheless. To kind of be more like attached to him. He was still cool. He was still a cool character. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, but yeah, I felt that the children being taken was a very needed step for the story. You kind of had something for the characters to save. I mean, yes, there's gods to save, but after their little tangent getting Zeus's lightning bolt to beat Gore, it is very apparent that the gods are not kind of worth saving, to be honest. But with the gods, I mean, it was very. It's going to be very cool exploring the different cultures in Marvel now. I mean, they already have with Moon Knight. Of course, Black Panther being one of the earliest concepts of this, exploring different cultures, but and then Shang-Chi and this, and I'm very excited to explore more of Hercules, which we'll get into more of later, post-credit scenes. But yeah, I mean, man, like there's nothing else much really to say about that kind of tangent with Zeus and everyone. Other than just, it's going to be very cool to explore different cultures. I totally thought Zeus was dead. He was not. And then it was very awesome with all the fight scenes, especially with the pieces of Mighty Thor's hammer, Jane's hammer, and then with the, of course, like I said before, with the blood being gold, you're allowed to do very violent stuff with the fight scenes in Thor Love and Thunder. Taika was allowed to do that. He's very smart with that in that term, or in that context, or in that sense. Jeez. But yeah, and then we have the climax of the film. Also before, with totally forgot to say, with the stuff with Jane and Thor, like a kind of montage of showing their relationship in between Dark World and Age of Ultron, which I didn't realize is an actual long time. That's 2 years. I did not realize how long their relationship actually was. It had more like gripping emotion to it than both of the first Thor films combined in that one montage and this one movie. Not kidding. And it was great to see that. It was great to see them actually have relationship stuff rather than just write it off like a breakup and pretend like they didn't even have a relationship, Because with the first two Thor movies, you don't realize how long a relationship they have, It makes it feel like those first two movies make it feel like a very, very short relationship. But yeah, like I said, in actuality, it's like more or less 4 years of being in a long-term relationship, and that's like I said, it was very gripping, that montage. Anyway, going back to before, the climax of the film. Speaking of Jane and Thor, we have more gripping stuff with them. I really loved Valkyrie and Mighty Thor's relationship in this. I felt like that was very fun and very new. Because we haven't really had, the females being like best friends and stuff in the MCU too much. I mean, there's a few examples like Shang-Chi with, I forget their names, but Awkwafina's character, as well as Shang-Chi's sister. Other than that, I can't think of. Oh yeah, and then of course, Florence Pugh and Yelena and Natasha, and Kate and Natasha. There's a few examples, but I don't know. I mean, we haven't really had too much of that. We've mainly had like guys and stuff, and it was very refreshing to have that. Korg was a break in the darkness and stuff, per usual. He was a fucking delight in this. And then Yeah, the fight with like the drainage of color, that was also a concept I found very cool and very fitting for Gore, because that's what Gore is doing. He's draining the color, he's draining the life out of people, out of gods. So it's a very fitting concept for Gore to have that. And outside of that, he was very scary in this with the limited time Christian Bale had. Like I said earlier, you can put with regular actors that need 10-15 minutes per like scene to get a gripping performance across. Christian Bale needs like 2 or 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Yes, would I love more Gore? Fucking of course. Am I sad he died? Well, yeah, because but it made sense. But we'll get to that later, or soon. But yeah, with the final fight, with the kids getting temporary Thor powers was one of the coolest uses of Thor's powers fucking ever. I don't care if you didn't like it. I loved it. I thought that it was very enjoyable and very Taika thing to do. Because apparently I was watching an interview that Taika did, and apparently he had his kids and like Chris's kids and like just a bunch of kids like having ideas, like random ideas that were incorporated into the actual movie, which was very cool, because that's not the norm with these movies, or with any movie, to be honest. Because they're kids, they don't have a grasp on proper filmmaking and stuff like that, but they do have a damn imagination, and that can turn into great ideas. Like one of the kids, I think maybe it was Chris's daughter, had an idea for the shadow monsters, and that was her idea, and then they made it into the movie. And then, yeah, man, I mean, there's not much else to say. There's not much to say about the final fight. Oh yeah, and other than fucking Eternity showing up, like looking exactly from the comics, which was amazing, and I'm very, very excited to explore more of the like kind of magic side of the MCU down the line. And yeah, but yeah, with Gore's death, it made sense, because he looked at Thor, and you could see in his eyes he knows that this is the right thing to do. He thought killing the gods would make up for letting his daughter die, but he realizes in this moment, when Thor says that he would rather spend his dying moments with Jane, because Thor thought he was going to die, that Gore realizes in that moment that he wants his daughter to come back, his daughter to live again, for her to get the life he always wanted for her. And that's the best thing that he can do for his daughter, which is a very gripping and emotional scene, an emotional, character arc for Gore. And like I said, of course I would have loved more Gore. I hope they have more Gore in in the Blu-ray, or they ever release a Taika cut, or I'm sure they'll have a lot of deleted scenes. But with Jane's death, I fucking loved that. She entered Valhalla. Heimdall was there, dude. I think I actually cried when Heimdall showed up. I was like, oh shit, man. I was like, that's awesome. And probably a lot of other people are there. Maybe we'll discover that in another movie, show, or something. And with with the statue for Mighty Thor, I'm really glad I got the Mighty Thor shirt. Glad I had that. And then with I mean that's pretty much it. And then the fucking Hercules. I've been saying Zeus's, and I've been quoting that post-credit scene literally ever since I saw the movie on the 12th last week. Like literally, I keep saying like the "Do you understand?" Hercules like a Thor and Sin falls like kind of out of order, but like I'm very very excited for Hercules and Thor fighting and teaming up. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. This won't last long. This has been Michael Creates, and hope you enjoyed. And bye bye.